I got the feeling I left it too late, but baby, snap out of it. Lady, she's having a
I think this might be the happiest clutch change you've ever done.
Yep, that's fucked as well. I'm gonna fucking scream that. Just so you know where I'm at right now, I'm just removing the support from the middle of the transmission tunnel with the prop shaft. Bolts were a little bit tasty on this, so I was a bit worried about snapping them, so I just buzzed them off gently with the old air gun. I've now got the prop down and out the way, and I now have, if you can see down the front here, I don't know if you'll be able to make it out, the gearbox naked, ready to be unbolted and dropped down from the engine. So at the moment I'm just removing the wiring from the outside of the gearbox, which on an M3 looks like so. You've got 202 sensor wires and you've got the reverse light switch. This goes up and over the top of the box. You don't want to drag the box out with this still connected, obviously. And then after that, what I'm going to do is get in and remove the slave cylinder, 2 nuts, and remove the linkage from the actual bush at the top. If any of you have watched my polyurethane bush video, that's the bush I'm talking about. And then we're going to get in and start removing the bolts from the bow housing. I've had a bloody nightmare. I've had a Torx head strip in the starter motor, second bolt undone. I've been here before, you've seen me before here, guys. I think I've managed to get the bastard out with an Irwin bolt remover. I'm not going to speak too soon, but it's feeling pretty good at the moment. I might be about to avoid having to take the engine out of the car. It would have been a disaster, man. But I think we're good. Hang fire and we'll see. I'll just keep unwinding it just now. If it does, I'm going to endorse Irwin bolt removers for the rest of my life. No, I think it's just spinning.
What?
I think it's just spinning on the head. Yeah, it is.
Are you joking?
No.
What's it? What? So we need the little one.
It's not undone it at all. Fuck. Right then, peeps, we're having fun, man. We're having fun till the sun comes up. Basically, we had one bolt that didn't want to come out. As always, Torx head stripped itself. I suppose luckily it was one of the bolts that holds the starter motor in. If Natalie peers down right now, you'll see we have a starter motor that is now loose. But my God, not after a lot of trouble. Basically, I stripped the head on the bolt on the bottom side of the starter motor. So this is what the bolt used to look like. This is all that remains of the head after I've ground and ground and ground and ground and ground some more. So basically, I've cut the head off the bolt, and then I've been able to pull the starter motor away from the gearbox, so the gearbox can now come out the back end. The way I've done that is with a Dremel, a cutting disc, tons of patience, man. It's 5 o'clock in the afternoon now. I started taking gearbox bolts out at 11:20 this morning. Fuck, man. But yeah, hopefully we've only got the lower gearbox mount bolts to take off now. They're going to come out fine. If they don't, they'll get cut off and drilled out, easy outed. Gearbox come off, and we'll be showing you a clutch hopefully in the next few minutes. It looks like it's the original clutch. The springs are almost flat. A fucking starter motor. I'm gonna fucking murder this fucking starter motor, man. I can't, I'm not fucking joking you. This fucking, are you recording me?
Yeah.
Good, I'm glad. This fucking starter motor is a bastard, man. Right, let me get the clutch off. In the lead up to the final on the 18th of May, but that's fucked, I think. Where is it? Yep, that's fucked as well. I'm gonna fucking scream that. Semi-finals, which is on the Tuesday and Thursday evening, the 14th and the 16th on BBC 4. But you might have to go through. That one's going to go as well. Fuck off, man. Fuck off. I want it off. I want this fucking thing off. Fucking hell. Look.
Whoa!
Look.
Oh my god, you are literally... You look like you've pooed yourself.
Yep. Yep. And I can't get the two of the bolts out. They shouldn't be that tough, by the way. They should only be 20 odd Newton meters.
Oh.
Which is nothing. It's like the same sort of head tightness that you do the rocker cover with. Are you going to come under a wee bit, or do you want to see it actually come away? Maybe quite good though for the old moves. Yeah, yeah. Well done. Welcome to my world, babe. Hiya. How's it going? You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to remove the absolutely fucked flywheel and clutch now. Well, clutch first. I think this is the original clutch from the car, guys.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
That's outrageous.
Oh, fuck off. Come on. Here we go.
Okay.
Okay. So there's the clutch. No grooves left in it whatsoever. Pretty much down to the rivets on this side, touching on that rivet. You can see the rivet marks where it's been touching the flywheel.
Fuck.
The flywheel's fucked.
Is it?
Aye, that's knackered, babe. And then almost through to the rivets here as well. It's thin as fuck. There's nearly nothing left on it. Pilot bearing looks new.
Why would it look new?
No idea. Pressure plate.
Okay.
You can see where
Yep.
the dust has been settling. Right then, peeps, so the clutch was completely knackered, as you can see, and at that point we had doubts about the flywheel as well. Since then we've done a bit of research about the flywheel, and although it's not perfect, I'm fairly confident the free play in it is acceptable, there's no axial play, and the face of the flywheel doesn't look too bad. That being said, if this was a clutch I was never going to change again, I would change the flywheel, and that's because we spent I think 120 or 130 pounds on the clutch kit. It's really cheap. Now I've got all the bloody stuff out, I know it's going to be much easier second time round, and it's me. I can do this in the garage. If you're going to take your car to a garage to do it and you're going to be paying money for it, get them to investigate this properly. At the point we're at right now, we are pretty much ready to put the clutch back in the car. Because of the amount of grinding that's gone on in here, this has all had a wipe down to make sure there's no dust, especially in the intake ports and inside any of the actual pipes themselves. And we're pretty much ready now to do that, but I've got a few things that I want to do before I put the clutch in. I'm going to put the gearbox in first, then I'm going to put the starter motor on, then I'm going to put the intake manifold on. Obviously I don't want to just lay the starter motor down there, try and muscle it into the gearbox once everything's underneath there and in place. So now I've gone this far, I've kind of got to go backwards in steps. I've got to sort out the exhaust. The two bolts for that were knackered, and the hangers don't look too healthy, so I'm going to be taking them off. One of them's going to be changed. Both of them need new bolts to hold the actual back box on. The back box needs a bit of work, and the exhaust needs a bit of work. So I'm doing that now, and then we'll be putting the gearbox in hopefully at the end of this week. This is going on for a week now, guys. So yeah. Okay, so we've now got the clutch fork in there, I suppose you call it. We've got the shaft greased up just a little bit, the contact points for the release bearing, and just behind there you may or may not be able to make out the clutch pivot pin just at the tip of my finger, stainless steel one. This clutch arm, they sit a bit loose. Sorry, they sit a bit loose, but that's as they're meant to be. Have the flywheel installed, nice clean mating surface, really important. Bolts torqued to 77 foot-pounds, 104 Newton meters, ready to accept the clutch disc. So I'm going to get it on, line it up, and then I'll show you what it looks like once it's there. Okay then, cats, so there is the clutch installed, nice and centrally, all torqued up to 24 foot-pounds. Now that kind of depends on the bolts that you're using. I've bought some new 12.9 grade bolts here, so I've gone a little bit higher in the foot-pounds. You can go a little bit less if you're using a lesser grade bolt, but why would you do that? These were 10 bolts for about £2 from eBay for 12.9 grade marine grade bolts, so just buy new bolts, man, torque them up nicely. She's now ready to have the gearbox put on, which is sitting down there. then becomes the wonderful task of bench pressing the bloody gearbox up onto the back of the engine block. So the idea is we get it on our chest, we go for it, we muscle the hell out of the thing and get it onto the back of the engine block, on the dowels, get a bolt in, take a breather, and then everything gets a damn sight easier from there on. Voila, as they say, voila, there she is, she's on. She's not completely bolted up yet, but she's got the important bolts in. And I got something to say. Let's get out and say it. Hang on one sec. So what have I got to say? Well, this is what I've got to say. It didn't go on first time. I thought in infinite wisdom this time I would use a clutch alignment tool, which didn't come with the clutch kit. I had the clutch alignment tool from another clutch job that I'd done. Same fucking difference, man. Same splines, same pivot pilot bearing hole, all the rest of it. When I was putting it in, it was moving around quite a lot, and I'm thinking, don't know, get it centred best by eye. It allows you to move the disc a bit easier. Stuck it in, happy that it was all stable. Put the gearbox on, wouldn't line up with the pilot bearing. Not worth a tit. So the gearbox came off, the pressure plate bolts were loosened, and I did it by eye. Like I've always bloody done a clutch by eye. I'm not joking, man. I've done, I don't know, 10 clutches now. I've never used I think I've used an alignment tool once in all that time. Done them on Hondas, Civics, Mitsubishi FTOs. Excuse the fucking sirens, by the way. They're always going off around here. Don't know why. You'd think we lived in the ghetto, man, not in bloody Bournemouth. Took the gearbox off, aligned it by eye, one eye open, like that, head straight in line with the pilot bearing, looking down the barrel of the gun basically. Bish bash bosh, mate. Gearbox went on first fucking try. No sweat whatsoever, man. Before, clutch bearing, I just spent 45 minutes trying to get the gearbox to line up. Wasn't happening. So, do what you want to do, man. Use an alignment tool if you want. I don't believe that they're necessary. I've just proved that to myself one more time. I'll forget the bloody things in the future, man. They're a waste of time, man. Do it by eye. You can see if the thing's in logically straight or not. Job done, man. See you later. As soon as you press the clutch down, that's all going to line up beautifully. Don't listen to what you read on the internet, kids. Right then, guys, so there's another challenging clutch change video. I'm sorry that was a bit haphazard. It wasn't the most fun clutch changes as you could probably make out, although could have been worse. Just to go back into a little bit of why I put that flywheel back on the car. The clutch had already been bought, Natalie needed to drive the car, and after I checked the axle and the radial play, although there was a lot of heat spots on the disc where the pressure plate and the clutch all bind onto, with a quick sand down with very light grit sandpaper, it came up not too bad. And knowing that I'd done the clutch once before, obviously being, you know, someone who does it himself, I'm not afraid of going back in there and changing the flywheel on the clutch in 6 months or a year's time if needs be. Just to touch a little bit on why you've not seen more M3 stuff, it's not that I haven't been doing work on the car, it's the fact that a lot of the work that I've done has been kind of rushed to some degree because Natalie's been using the car daily, and when things go wrong they need to be fixed, and then filming is really difficult when you're just trying to get the job done. Anyone out there in YouTube land that does this sort of thing will know exactly where I'm coming from there. Little word of note for you on PPE. You'll have noticed there's a lot of grinding the metal going on there, and I was not wearing my goggles, and I bloody well paid the price for it. I ended up at A&E the Monday after the grinding part of that video with what felt like a huge lump of crap in my eye. It transpired that there was nothing in there, but I paid the price for being stupid and grinding for about 4 hours metal and not wearing any goggles. So wear your damn goggles, kiddos. It's always a good thing to be doing. At the moment I have done a ton of work on the M3, which we can elaborate about, but really, you know, it's maintenance stuff. It's stuff that's been trying to keep on top of, you know, the little gremlins that show their faces whilst the car's being daily driven, of which there have been lots of little things, but nothing really bad and serious. And we are getting to the point now where we're thinking about doing the steering rack. So we are going to be showing you first of all a video comparing the difference in drivability and performance of the 328 versus the M3. We think that's worth making a film about, so you out there know what a Euro M3 really feels and looks and sounds like when you drive it. And we are definitely going to do a comparison of a before and after with the steering rack from a perspective, hopefully point of view, showing the difference that the purple tag steering rack is going to make in the M3. So there you go, guys. We have got some more content coming of the M3. We do promise that this time. But stay watching. Thanks for watching. That's the M3 clutch change done. Paymo out.